As well.
Fashion.
Yeah. So my mother used to advise me when I was starting. I was unemployed for about 2 years, and she asked me to work in a bank. I said, no way. I work in a
But you can imagine that you work in a bank with such an outfit and you expect, and I guess I don't look at you like
So I think for you, for anybody to be in fashion, you must have that conviction. You must be really passionate about it. You cannot do it halfway and just give up. But if you're born to do it, you will do it. I can't do anything else.
Yeah, the second question tonight, before I leave this session, so how do you see the Malaysian fashion industry?
Both exciting and both worrying.
We cannot be so simple.
Both exciting and both worrying.
Why?
Exciting because I see so many development of new brands whatsoever, and many of them are doing online. But worrying is because they forget about good craftsmanship. They just want to sell. So 80% of those products are not even online, on those multi-brand stores. If I go in there right now, craftsmanship is very bad. So that is damaging to the general industry as a whole. So, and how can we address the world when we don't have craftsmanship?
True.
So our ministers kept saying, well, fashion, no, you cannot do it as long as if you don't do it, you can't do it.
Here you have it. The entrepreneurs in Chinese will say that the karma you. Okay, I listen to you and I said, here you have it, Miss Zaihani Zain.
Batik was a little bizarre. 7 years ago, I had a car accident and my left arm was paralyzed for 6 months. And from the results of it was because of 2 tendons in the middle of the car. And it actually gave me the inspiration to actually start off doing fashion because I've always been interested in artsy stuff and fashion, but it wasn't the greatest encouragement from my family. But then when that took place, it really kind of brought me forward to what I really wanted to do, kind of shook me up in many ways. From there, I actually was exploring what I really wanted to do when it comes to fashion, and I was playing with a lot of artists at the time, and doing all the trial errors pretty much. And then I came across a piece of Batik, and I told myself that when I actually created something and I saw so much potential that what Batik could do, everyone has this perception and limitations of what Batik has to offer. I guess a lot of really young generation think of Batik as some Nyonya Batik sorrows and something very kind of
old-fashioned.
Yeah, and the color-wise, it's all over the place, and and to me, what Batik means is actually just a technique, a waxing technique to create resistance on the dye. And it doesn't matter what comes out of it, it's actually pretty much an inspiration, your creativity towards what you have for the fabric. That's what Batik means, In the past, it has always been a limitation of what prints were, because in Indonesia, for example, each symbol of the Batik print actually means something. People wear it for events and formal events are based on all these motifs. As for now, it has come to a moment where the younger generations were way beyond the fact that we wear something formal just because of the certain prints and whatever. But how do we go along with that? How do we actually make the younger generation? That's what I was thinking all the time to myself. How can we make the younger generation appreciate what we want to hear? How do we play around that? So I came around and I started off my own label and been creating different designs ever since, and actually have a look at the creations and then read later. And thank you so much. I'll pass the mic to Fairuz now. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Fern Chua. My story is different than this. I was born in a family which, my mom loves sewing at home. So I was born in Scotland. I lived there for 14 years. So what my mother did, she worked and she studied at the same time. She studied fashion. So at the age of 6, I was already sewing, helping her out. Because I am the eldest of 4 brothers, so there's no sisters. So whatever she did, like I did it. I went to studios every time she goes to the university. But when I came back, I pursued fashion degree later, just to inherit the business. It was used children's wear, and we have been supplying to the States, to the Emirates, and as an OEM company producing children's wear. But later in 2011, I was called up for Malaysia International Fashion Week because one of the slots they didn't have enough designers, and I was like, I'm a friend helping another. So they came and Fairuz, you need to do this, get your collection together. We only need 3 to 4 outfits, because if you don't help me, then there will be like 9 or 10 other designers who will get to showcase as well. But it was on the morning slot, and why actually a lot of designers in conflict because it was a morning slot, and most designers want to do the gala. Okay, so I was like, okay, let's just do it. So I had 3-4 pieces. They were men's clothes, they were my clothes, but I used, but I didn't really get to wear them actually because they were a bit loud. So I had them showcased, and that was it. That was the start of it. Magazines came, newspapers, they were like interviewing, they were like, oh, we've never seen these kind of design before, and I was like, okay. So it turned out to be a brand after that, because people kept coming, oh, where can I get this, where can I get that? I said, oh, this is like serious. I really need to do this. So I was like 30 at the time, and I said, okay, let's give it a shot. Life starts at 40, so it doesn't work, it doesn't. And then, 2015, I was awarded most promising designer. And it went on 2015, last year, design of the year, and we get to showcase to Paris and the Mercedes-Benz and everything, and it's going great.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. I'm Alfred. Let's start back to my kid story. I was born in a small town called Pantai. So at that time when I was kindergarten, so I really loved the drawing. So even though I'm in class, the teacher in front, I don't really listen, I just go at the back. So when I was kids, I already know that I love to draw things, I love to design things, but I don't know where to go, what should I design when I was kids. So after I finished high school, I have 2 choices. One is interior design and one is fashion design. But at the end, Melbourne. I studied fashion design in Melbourne, IMIT, in 2008. And I graduated in 2010. At that moment, I came back to Malaysia, and at the time, a bit lost, and I'm not sure where to start as well. Then I applied for resume to some fashion company, and then I remember my first job is kidswear company. I have no idea what it is. And for the first day, the first day of work, I already know I'm not really very like how I'm doing, because what they do is just tell me to copy and paste using the Mickey Mouse and just paste it different colors. No. Is it? I think they do manufacture for the manufacturer. Yes. So after that, I continued finish 1 month, and then I jobless. And then I had an opportunity for a shoe competition in 2011 that time. And my friend pushing me to say, why don't you go to the front? And they said, I have no idea about shoes. Just have fun, don't think so much. I said, okay, let's go. Let's send to them. And then they want me to, they accepted my design, and then they want me to do the prototype. I said, I don't know how to do shoes. I said, don't worry, I recommend a very good guy who knows how to do shoes, but can go to the shoe factory and do my own. I said, okay, I can have a try. And I used like 2 months to make my first pair of shoes. That's my competition shoes. Actually, it's a hybrid, so they can trigger a function of wearing it. And surprisingly, I got the first prize. And I represent Malaysia to the international competition. And it's Southeast Asia, and I got the second runner-up. So from there, I quite enjoyed doing shoes, and I found it very interesting. And from there, I joined shoe industry in 2011. So at that time, I had quite a few offers from different companies. But I'm thinking, my heart telling me, I'm not going to join them because I know not much idea about shoes yet. So I accepted, and I keep continuing doing shoes in the factory, learn how to make shoes and handmade shoes and do the lasting and everything. And that time, around 8 months, I'm learning that. I'm thinking, I starting to have someone to ask me, do you make shoes? I said, why don't I try? Then I made 3 pairs to my friend's mom and friends. And at that moment, I met Xavier on Facebook. Then the story, the second journey started again. So we come together. And yes. So ZAF, we have our first launch ZAF in 2012. So now we can
Keep it short. I'm graduated from the University of Science in Malaysia, majoring in broadcasting, minor in sociology and anthropology. After the internship at AT, I did my internship at News and Current Affairs at Media Prima. And I remember the last day that my boss actually called me to one of the restaurants. I was like, okay, since the last day. And my boss brought us to the restaurant, and when we sat down, the boss of this restaurant came to my table and told me a story. This gentleman said, you're going to venture in the fashion industry. I was like, okay, what? I really specialist because I have no way to answer these questions. At the same time, I can't confirm why he said so to me. Then he gave me the second statement. You have to go apart from Malaysia, far away from Malaysia, and stay in Malaysia. That one basically is like, I believe that production will be your journey. Because I guess everyone who graduated from broadcasting, the journey that they wish to go to the broadcasting line, of course TV, radio. But after I graduated from USM, actually started my journey in 1.5 years Media Prima as assistant producer. Later on, I actually started my own PR agency in 2011. And since then, I realized that whenever I travel, I need a product, I need the brands that bring me to international. That's why how I started my own fashion label that actually allowed me to meet a lot of people, not just my fashion industry, and as well as artists from Dubai, from New York, and as well as Japan. And that's how I found that this mix definitely is a lot different from others. So that's how I got my journey. So do you have any questions to your friend, Fairuz? If no, then I would love to invite Miss Grace to join us and ask for